Hello? Oh, fuck that. No. Hello? No!
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the first ever Dark Side of Dino podcast, where you get to hear real conversations and hear it from Dino himself. You're here with me, yours truly, Tim, and Dino Nuggets 741 himself. JB, are you there?
I am. What's up, mates?
Not much, man. It's been a minute since we did this, but for everybody out there who's listening, we did rebrand the Gatehouse podcast to the Dark Side of Dino, where you get all your interesting fun facts behind the scenes with the man himself.
I hope so.
Yeah, there's been some interesting stuff going on lately. I think like at the top of our board here, we're going to talk right out of the gate of the shadow figure in the bedroom video, which just dropped here a couple days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's a video that really shook me, and that's why I've taken a break from all that. Like, the feeling I had after I saw that, man, was, and I didn't know if I was tripping or if there was something really there. And then people started pointing out shit that I didn't see, and there's something standing in there. Like, I went over every fucking square inch of that room, and that basketball hoop goes under the door frame and on the door. So you have to tug on that motherfucker to open it, and you definitely hear it.
Right, and that was definitely a lot different from like any of the other content that you have put out prior to that one, and I can see where you were hesitant to post that because that's some real life stuff going on in your bedroom.
Well, I mean, from the start, the whole night was a fucking shit show. I stopped hoping I'd go into bed and this shit would be done. So I had that basketball hoop on there, and I had a shoebox lid. And I just put that fucking thing on there, and I had my phone stand. And I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. And the fucking thing wouldn't stay up. So, finally I got it to stick. It looked a little janky, like it just kept sliding because the hoop set at an odd angle. And fuck, man, like I was praying it would stay up there. So when all that happened, and I wasn't in bed for long, man, and I don't like taking pictures of my bedroom just for that reason, from what people pointed out. But when that fucking thing fell off the door, I just thought it slid off. So that's why I wasn't like, what the fuck? Because it was a bitch to get it to stay in the beginning. So when it falls off, I'm like, fucking great.
Mm-hmm. I know you were apologizing to Rob, like when you were putting it up there. You're like, sorry, Rob, I'm trying.
Man, sometimes, like, I smoke a lot of weed. Everyone that watches my channel knows that. And, it's just like, fuck it, I'll record tonight, see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And
Rob started happening, and everybody started pointing out the humming and the no sleep Jared. Fuck that. That's why I don't like to post some of these videos, because, I'm perfectly content with seeing some shit moving around side to side, but something was pacing in front of that door, and it looked like something was running across the bed. We have those still images that you made from those as well.
And I did send you the
built on it. And that's honestly, man, I can't be fucking around on, videos like that for a minute. That's why I'm letting Rob, do the Dino with the Devil. And, this is a podcast. So, I want all my viewers to be, up to date. But I think, me putting too much attention into the actual channel, it fucks me up, guys.
right.
I bite or bark loud, but at the end of the day, when I'm at home, there's times I'm terrified, and I'm not afraid to admit that anymore.
You said like stuff was going on before you started recording. What kind of things were happening in the house before you actually picked up your camera?
It's the smell, and I've been getting like super fucking anxiety lately. Like, and I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, he needs more medicine." If you zoom in on my nightstand, you'll see just how many pills I take to try to deal with this. And it rotates because some of them have adverse reactions, some of them don't. Does it make me feel better? I don't fucking know. I still get scared, so I guess it's kind of pointless, but some of them, make me calm and shit because I get agitated living in this motherfucker and dealing with this now for 2 houses, man. I don't have that bad of luck and, moved into 2 haunted houses. That's fucking impossible. I'd win the Powerball before that would happen.
Right. And like dissecting the video a little bit more, you can clearly see, and I sent you that clip, like when you kind of like speed it up through the scenes, you can clearly see like this faint shadow, not like the shadow you're posting on a lot of your videos, but like almost like a see-through spirit running back and forth on your bed. It almost looks like it gets up by your head. You obviously didn't feel any of that because we didn't see you react on the video.
No, man, I had no idea that shit was going on. Why do you think I was hesitant to post it for a while? And after you see, I had a mental breakdown, man. Like, that. You and Rob both know that. That's why Rob told me to, take a seat. And it's just like when I open up that channel, I'm like, fuck. Documentation from what I'm posting, regardless of what people believe or not. I've never asked anybody to believe it. Like,
And yeah, there was like I sent you the enhanced audio version. Did you hear anything else crazy in there when you were listening to it?
I tried not to even watch it, dude. You fucking kidding? That's why I have you guys.
I mean, we might have to make that available, like the enhanced audio, see what the fans think. I guess we could do that.
Yeah,
Maybe
play it up. I mean, that's what we're here for. So throw it at me.
Yeah, we could probably definitely do that if the people want it, and they can definitely comment on this. We're gonna react and listen. Read some of your comments and do all that good stuff. So you guys can reach out to us, and we'll be happy to address some questions out there.
Guys, I do read the comments, and it's real hard for me to respond to some of them. It's bad enough to make up the fucking video. All right, like. You have no idea the stresses that go along with this. And a lot of people see these clips. And the more the people see it, the harder it gets. And when you post something like that, that's like I've talked, that's when I'm most vulnerable. I'm laying in bed. I live in my baseball hat, man. And I would never in my fucking wildest dreams think about going onto a video with no hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Never ever, because the reality is I didn't think that anybody would see anything. Like I almost deleted the fucking video, and I just saw this dark thing go in front of the bed, and it was just like it blocked out the light because I always sleep with the closet light on, man. Like it's not enough to annoy me, but I turn on my white noise. I turn on that light. That was like a normal night, a video I thought I was going to delete in the morning.
Yeah, I do that too. Like the noise thing seems to help me at night because anybody who owns a house or I guess even an apartment, you can hear those like creaks and cracks of like houses settling, and I don't like to be awoken by that stuff. So I'll play like rain or oldies and stuff on like YouTube in the background. It definitely helps.
I do rain on a tin roof. I do a box fan and a shower noise. That one really fucking gets me. I really like that one. That night I had my rain on, man, and it helps me zone out. And You know, when people really go through this shit, in my opinion, you do everything in your power to distract your mind. Because at the end of the day, even though you're seeing it, it's always like you're quick to try to rationalize it or be like, no, that wasn't it. That wasn't it.
Yeah, and for those people that maybe new or don't know, that we do a variety of different things to kind of help JB with his anxiety. Like we do a podcast called Lap Dances and Lattes, where it's more of a real life conversation and less paranormal. Because let's be honest, you can't talk paranormal 24/7 and hope to maintain a normal lifestyle.
No. And I agree with that. But, we have a lot of followers and I appreciate it, each and every one of them for sure. And I think that I owed it to them instead of just bouncing and not saying anything. I just feel like I'm in a little nest right here. When like I said, when I go onto my channel, I feel odd. It reminds me of shit. After we watch those videos, I send them out to you guys and I fucking delete them. Either that, when this all started, like I would catch something on film and it'd take me a week or so to watch it, and then sometimes longer, and then I'd watch it and I'd see what I caught on it, and I'd immediately post it and delete it. So that way it was somewhere else than constantly on me, and I think that really helps.
And anybody that's involved in this field knows how taxing, and it's such a stigmatized topic that it wears on you twice as fast as anything else. So, I mean, I'm sure the people out there understand what you're going through to a certain degree, obviously.
I invite the person that has, 23 million views on one video to call me or get on the channel and have a three-way with, you, me, and Rob, and talk to this person and see how they deal with it, and how they react to it, man. I think a lot of that spawns a lot of negativity when I go in there and I like an idiot, I go in through the comments, but there's so many cool followers, it's hard not to. And I try to weed them out, and we have moderators, of course, but I'll attach onto one comment and I'll just lose my shit. And that's, I do that on TikTok. And that's why I only have negative comments. Outside of that, I watch the video. I don't know what else to tell you about it. I'm not an expert at this. It's just something that's happening in my house. I'm lucky enough to try to record it enough to catch it every once in a while. Like I said at the beginning, this is for me. I don't give a fuck what other people think. It's a peace of mind for me.
Right, and you just alluded to something we're going to start doing. We're going to start doing panels with the fans that want to talk, a lot like the Dino with the Devil Lives on YouTube. We're going to start doing that here on the podcast. So anybody that's interested, reach out, and we'll be happy to get on a podcast with you and tell you what we think for sure.
Yeah, and I think that that's a good platform, and to be able to chat it up with me. And seriously, I've heard some stories. I'm like, fuck, I thought I had a bad shit. And I hate to say this and be a dick, but fuck, that makes me sleep better at night. Like, my shit might not be that bad. Fuck it. And I hate to be that way, but as the channel gets older, we're approaching our year anniversary, and I think each and every one of you, the channel has grown quick. And the more experience that you get, and the better of quality the things come, and there's been kind of a drastic swing in some of the things that we did, and we'll have it ironed out. You'll still get videos of my home when I'm able to post them or catch it, and I'm not having just straight fucking emotional breakdowns because of the shit that I'm going through, not just at home, but in real life, like just normal problems, cost of gas being outrageous, like nothing you hear in the fucking world right now is good. So, I mean, inherently, it kind of adds to the negativity, and I need to find that balance. And I don't about it, but this is a nest that I can crawl in because I don't have to worry about comments. You guys just get to hear me. Tim gets to moderate and ask the questions, and folks, this is helpful to me. Mm-hmm. We'll keep pumping out content. I will be back, hopefully soon. Just depends. after so much, you just can't take it.
Right. And some people might find this a little more comfortable to their, whatever. Some people don't want to be on YouTube Live, so this is also a different option for you that you might find a little more comfortable. I know JB has definitely found his niche in podcasting since we started this here a few months ago. Now we do it almost, every day almost.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. So we're definitely looking forward to having some of you fans on here. And yeah, reach out to us, tell us your story, and yeah, we'll see what we can do for you.
And same email, dinonugget741 at Gmail. You just have two platforms now. One will be live, and this one will be posted like a video.
Mm-hmm. It'll be available on all the podcast sites that we're on, as well as on YouTube.
And as a result, and any videos that go up, we'll do a reaction to on this channel. Like I said, guys, I'll put some videos out, but being as interactive, it's a weight on my shoulders. It's gotten real big real quick, and it's just a lot to handle. And I need a recenter and, come at it in a way that, like I said, if you have those kind of views, man, reach out to me and tell me how you do it without losing your shit, because it's tough.
Yeah.
And
for those people that don't know, there's several platforms. Like the TikTok is the short version of the video you're going to release, and then the full videos on YouTube, just because of the platform differences. Yeah, so there's all kinds of avenues to check out the content that JB's putting out.
well, I mean, like I said, when I read in the comments, BOD Productions came from a comment from one of our followers, like, because I always say bag of dicks. So, throughout this whole process, I have acquired really good friends and, help. Rob reached out. I know him from this platform. I did a podcast on your GHP, Tim. That's how I know you. And it's always cool to meet new people, like genuine people, because it's a crazy fucking place now, man. And you just got to keep your head up. And that's what I'm trying to do now. Like I said, the content will stop, but guys, I'm doing okay. I just need to chill for a minute.
Right, and like you said, that if you come home in just a bad mood, that negativity definitely feeds whatever resides in your basement. So
you could see it in my face, like, fuck, man. So a lot going on. Started the camera like, fuck it.
Diving a little bit more into that bedroom video, so you didn't even hear that thing like growl or scream or whatever you want to call that, because that was pretty loud again, just like the experiment video.
I didn't hear any of that, man. I sent it off and it got posted, the raw footage. That's how I like to put it. I want you guys to see it like I see it. And it was a tough one. I thought it fell off the fucking box. It was almost impossible to get it to stay up there in the first place. I didn't fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I felt anxiety after that, like standing up, like fuck. And then I went and slept on the couch.
Yeah, I figured something like that was going to happen. I was like, there's no way he went to bed in that room after that happened.
Nope, put my hat back on, I realized that I didn't have my hat on, and this was like, oh shit, something might be on this one. Fuck. I'm bald, have been since I was 19. It started falling out. It's very self-conscious about it.
Well, you
I
got
would have,
that.
oh man, I would have never, but I thought that was a good piece of evidence that,
You got that Shaquille
you're out
O'Neal,
there.
Charles Barkley appeal, man. Don't let that lack of hair bother you.
I have a giant head, bro. It's a big one.
Yeah, some people appreciate it for sure. Your fans definitely appreciate you out there, hair or not.
Well, that was awful nice of you, Tim. You want to hold hands and dance off into the sunset?
Oh, you know it, man. You know it. But no, I was just setting up our next point here. We're going to talk about another video that just dropped, the Sally House walkthrough, and your first impressions when you were going through that.
The Sally House, huh?
Yeah. For everybody that doesn't know, that video dropped on YouTube here not too long ago, so go check it out, and you'll know what we're talking about.
Well, I pulled up and I'm thinking, fuck, man. I watched some videos on it and everybody's like, I haven't seen evil until I've been in this house. So you go in there like, all right, what the fuck, you know. Some people have been in here, they've made their comments. You know, it's a little girl, it's a demon. You know, the next door neighbor said that it was an old man in the fucking basement. That was a guy that lived there for a long time that died, and they think that he's the one that's in the basement just causing hell. Because I knocked on the doors after I initially went in there. That fucking priest was in there, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll just go in. And this guy looks at me and goes, good luck.
That coming
And
from a priest would be unnerving in itself, I think.
oh yeah, and on the, I hate to say other people's names, but Sam and Colby episode, they were talking to the gal from the city who rents it out, and she told him about what happened to me because I called the city office and I was pissed. I was like, I fucking thought that this place, you know, was mine. You know, I'm not sharing it with some fucking priest. Like, what the hell is going on? You got cameras and noisemakers in there too. Like, what's happening? Because this dude was, you know, collared up and had his little pouch that had his rosary in it, had a Bible in his hand, like kind of really nice guy, a little overweight, you know, not like fat, but just he looked like a jolly dude. Super nice. And I was like, what the fuck happened to it? He's like, oh, some of the toys just, you know what? Good luck. And he fucking left. So I called the city office and I was upset. Like, what the fuck? So I'm thinking, like, whatever. It's Catholic.
Yeah, I wonder if they do that for like maybe like legal reasons. They go in there and have somebody like bless the house or something like that, just to kind of cover the, you know, cross their T's and dot their I's kind of thing.
Right. Well, Catholics really believe in that spiritual world, from what I understand, anyway. And you know, a lot of priests thinks, you know, the spirit of God and Jesus and stuff like that would help that type of stuff. So it wasn't like I was downing Catholics or anything when I made that comment. But you know, when you go into a place like that, they're under the impression that there's something there, is how I should have phrased that. So, you know, a priest showing up to a place that's haunted, allegedly, well, I would say there's something there for sure. It's a haunting, not something demonic. Like, if you want to fucking see evil, that ain't evil.
Right, and you even had like an experience even before you went in the door. You took this picture and you shared it with me. I think you even got it posted elsewhere, where there's like you can see a ghostly figure like standing against the glass.
An old man with a mustache and a little fupa,
Right.
the hair under the lip, wearing a suit. Like, and the next picture didn't have anything in it.
Yeah,
And it was
like
clear, you could definitely see it.
yeah, like Wild West kind of thing, like 1800s, early 1900s, possibly.
But I mean, honestly, man, it's like I've caught in so many photos in the Stanley Hotel. People saw one at my car when I crashed that shit. You know, that one that I showed you of that situation that happened in Colorado where they grew up. You know what I mean? Something looking around at a house you can't fake it at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretty well known killer's home. And, you know, looked like something was literally peeking around the corner.
Right. So you're like walking up to the Sally house and you're thinking, or are you thinking anything? Or you're like, oh, this is going to be crazy, or I'm not feeling anything. What were your thoughts like walking up and into that place?
Well, I did my research, man. I watched some of these videos online about going in there and the crazy ass fucking, the storylines and the stuff that happened. BuzzFeed did one that the lights went on. I mean, even they caught, you know, activity. Um, I don't know. It was kind of like an excited, you know, anxiety because, I mean, the moment I pulled up, man, I knew that the devil or no demons or anything was at that house. It just, when you pull into my garage, you immediately feel the tenseness because you know you have to go in there. And I didn't feel any of that there, man. I'm not saying that I'm sensitive or anything, but my whole goal with this is to try to mimic the feeling that I have out there and learn about it. And if it's something that's similar that happens to other people, there's something to be said about that. And it's always cool to find out different types of spooks and bumps in the night, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever happened in that fucking house wasn't normal, for
Right.
sure.
So,
And
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Sorry about that.
no, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just like, so like we're comparing like you walking up to the Sally house to you walking into your house. You said there's just a difference between like tension, like feelings, like hair on the back of your neck pop up, anything like that. What's the major differences between the two experiences?
Well, I was walking up, and what gave me the anxiety is seeing the fucking priest come out. Like, oh shit, he just pissed it off. If it's something bad in there, he just fucked everything up for me. It was unnerving. And before I walked in, man, I didn't have my camera on. I wasn't all excited about it. Like, it's like, oh shit, I'm here. Okay. Pretty well known house, whatever.
Right. That whole experience, man, had to just be unnerving. You know,
Yeah.
walking into the unknown because you know you've never been there. You're trying to compare it to your house. You're hoping or were you hoping that it was more intense or less intense, or just because I know you said you were on a journey to find evil outside of your house.
I wanted that rush like I get at home. And then I could be undefiably like, listen, guys, this is not just me. This has happened here. This is, what I found out. Like you can't get the real help unless you know how to ask for it. You have to know more about what you need help on. It's just like psychiatry, man. They can't just guess what's going on in your head, and then you have to tell them, and then they take bits and pieces out of it and they put that shit together and they get you the proper help. It's no different with something like this. A Jewish guy walking into a Catholic priest talking to him about exorcism or something living in my house is like the line of a fucking joke.
Oh, yeah, it almost
That,
sounds like that.
that's a line for a joke. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't work like that.
Right. Yeah, that had to be really unnerving. I couldn't imagine like a priest coming out and be like, "Good luck," kind of thing. That would just that would kind of like make me double think my or rethink my choices.
Nah, he'd be running out of that house shitting himself if it was like something in here. There's a big difference of going in there and, blessing certain areas and walking in and praying. And he went into the nursery, prayed over that area. It was almost like, what is he trying to piss it off, or is he trying to make it to where I'm not? Like, I really thought that lady, I think they knew about it, and she swore to God. She's like, I had no idea that he was going to go in there. I mean, he purchased a walkthrough, but he wasn't supposed to be there today because they give you a number to put on a lock at the door. But after he left, I pulled it together. I shook his hand and, told me good luck. He was a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Just like most Catholic priests, I guess.
Yeah. So then you're walking through the house. Are you feeling anything? Because I know you were walking around trying to get some responses. Did you feel anything or sense anything your initial walkthrough?
Before I opened the door, I heard something slam inside. I was going to go in there again when it turned dark. Instead, I waited for backup, Rob and Kate to show up and, help me out. I wouldn't go back in there after I sat down on the couch, and that little meter kept going off, and I'm looking right at it like, oh, fuck. And then I heard a bang upstairs, and then that's when I got kind of spooked. Like, all right, I haven't dealt with shit like this. This is something that's different. Like, I'm used to raw emotions and feelings and smells and, like shit's gonna blow down. And when you hear just like bumps in the night, man, I think that's just as scary, if not scarier, because it's just, it's off on its own, doing its own thing, and you don't know what it is at that point. And you get that rush, man. It's better than any drug or any amusement park ride, in my opinion. It's you have firsthand knowledge of stuff that people don't, whether they believe you or not. You know for a fact. And if good exists, so does evil. And that's something to look forward to when you die, man. That's what I've learned throughout this whole, 8-9 years now. It's been 9 years.
Mm-hmm. And what makes your investigation different from everybody else's is that the basement was unlocked during this session here, which is I guess, never the case in other videos?
The basement was unlocked.
That
Is
almost
that what you?
sounds like an omen to me. Not to be like ominous or anything, but that's kind of very odd.
Oh, there's a lot of shit that's odd that happens, man. It's just how much you can pay attention. But 9 years is a long time to adjust your shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what people. I can't believe you can live through this. It's like you really don't know what you can live through. You know, God wouldn't give you something that you can't handle. That's what the Bible says to most of you people.
Mm-hmm. And like Rob was saying that basement had an effect on you. Like you came out of there like a completely different person.
Well, Devin's never been the same since.
No, ever since the basement experiment thing, he's been a little, different for sure.
And that's why I like people coming over and fucking with it, man. If it's mine, it's mine, and I'll deal with it. You know, like I'll try to document it. I'll learn how to deal with it. It's just going to take time and educating yourself. You have to put yourself in that position. And like the old saying goes, if you go looking for it, something hard enough, you're going to find it. And let me tell you, I'm going to find it.
Was it the same kind of feeling when you were in the basement at the Sally house? Because I know even there's a disclaimer on the video that said that JB kind of came out a completely like different person. Is that the same as like when you come out of your basement, or was it completely different altogether?
Oh, it was different. I felt offended.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I started barking. And that's one of the problems. And that's why I'm taking a step back. You know, I get too on edge, and there's a lot that goes on that you guys don't see in this video. You know, how I respond and how I react is, different. It varies, it just depends on the circumstance and how I'm feeling at that time and the amount of, I wouldn't say dread, but it's just like fucking raw paranoia, anxiety, all mixed up into a blender.
Right. And then
You smell it, and it's just like, fuck.
and that's why these people need to tune into these podcasts, because they get to listen to your perspective and your behind the scenes and what's going on, that doesn't make it to video.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing it for you guys, like for sure. It's like I said, it's a lot easier for me to open up on a platform like this because we do 7, lap dances and latte episodes a week, damn near. And, that takes my mind off the paranormal. And when I can do that, I need you guys to understand, like when I have an outlet like that, and it's just things that I see and go through throughout a day, and other people, we interview people, we talk about raunchy shit and just, the politics that are going on that, because of high gas prices, it definitely made me start watching like what the fuck's going on. It's a good outlet, man. It really is. I think everybody should have that opportunity. And like I said, we talk to people of all walks of life and, experience what they get to experience, just like I show you guys my videos. I show it to you as it happens to me. And I think that, being able to do that and giving people in these times somewhere to go and chat it up, like I'm down.
Yeah, and I think that latest bedroom video really shows how things have like progressed or intensified in the house, because it never used to really mess with you a whole lot in your bedroom, right? Other than that time it like materialized.
Really in there, man.
Yeah.
Not trying to make some small time porno or so. That's my private bedroom. It's not like I said, man, that's where I sleep. That's where I want to be left the fuck alone. That's where I rest, stick clear my mind, and and completely relax. That's how I do it. And to have a camera in there, that's fucking crazy. But when that type of shit was going on leading up to that video, fuck, man. It was just, I was exhausted. I was stressed out. Like, fuck, I hope this thing isn't going to come at me tonight. And sure as shit, standing there.
Those candles in the corner,
Anything.
are those candles in the corner like real candles, or are they like the electric
Yeah,
ones?
smell delicious.
Oh, okay.
And my room's filled with succulent aroma. I don't smell that ass when it's around too bad where it wakes me up. It's just like, And don't worry, I'm taking the proper precautions. It's one of those, it's a different type of fuse. or not fuse, wick. It's not like a normal wick that burns down. It's like this long bar that consistently burns it straight. And yeah, if it spills, it'd go out. But there's nothing in my room. I lock myself in there. I don't want animals sleeping with me usually.
Mm-hmm.
Breathing hair and shit. That's my clean room for sure.
And I'm sure people noticed like something was fucking with them in the corner, like trying to blow them out almost, or like something was standing there breathing on them. And you do see the shadow figure like step into frame right before that camera gets knocked off, and it growls like crazy.
Well, shit happens. I didn't hear a growl. I didn't really see nothing in the corner. I just saw the variation of color that was going across the comforter. And that's what I started to look at. It was horrifying. And I just remember getting this feeling like my stomach started to hurt, like, oh fuck. I didn't run and pray, but I just, in case I didn't want to sleep in there, I'm like, fuck it. But because in my house, man, you never know. It could have been the box fell off. It could have been something that pushed it out. Just, it's the anxiety you get when something happens when you're not expecting it all the time.
Right, and I looked at the vocals and compared them to the growls from the experiment, and they're all three of them are off the hook from like human range.
And that doesn't bother you in the slightest.
Oh, it bothers me to the core. Actually, it'll keep me up at night in some cases where I'm like, that's fucking nuts. Just looking at the vocal range of that thing.
Fucked up thing is I don't hear it, man. It's only picked up in the video. That's why I send it out. Like, fuck, if I'd hear shit like that, I'd immediately delete it probably. Like, motherfucker. The humming is what got me. And then the no sleep Jared. That's my name. It's Jared. And it is said my name. I go by JB because I don't want the whole fucking world knowing my name, but I guess it's slipped out a few times. And there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And for it to say that, it wasn't like JB, it was Jared. Like,
Mm-hmm. And that's what
man.
led to the TikTok thing.
This one's not playing the game, man. Now I gotta fucking tell people my name and be like, who the fuck is Jared? It's JB.
And that's what led to kind of the TikTok thing, because somebody mentioned your name in the TikTok before like all hell broke loose in there.
I don't like putting my full name out there. I won't, because every fucking psycho on the internet will try to be recording my house or break in while I'm at work or get shot in the middle of the night because they broke in trying to get a glimpse of the fucking ghost. And I mean, you break into my home, I'm going to defend myself. You're out of your fucking mind.
Absolutely.
If you come to the camera, you're really fucked up because I'm going to tear you apart. And that's just a normal reaction when you wake up, and it's not a demon. It's some asshole trying to record, and that's a very real thing.
Yeah, people.
Excuse me.
So, like what can people look forward to in the next release of the Sally video? This was like the walkthrough, the investigation part. What can they look forward to when that video drops?
I went in there and provoked, on purpose to try to see what was hanging, and if I was going to be there, I wanted it there. And if it was evil and you go barking at it like at my house, like there's days that I'll get a little too high or have some sake and get a little nuts and start talking shit, and I can provoke it. I mean, I provoke mine all the time. I just don't record it. It's like that rush feeling, and that's why I wanted to do it there. And pretty much after the photo, which was taken at night without putting on too much, the activity that was going on in that house from using equipment that I've seen a lot of these other guys in the videos use, was abnormal for sure. Like whatever it was, I stirred it up for sure, because those balls were completely going nuts. And we did a spirit box with earbuds and then covered our ears and just listened to the spirit box on the phone. And were answering questions, and they were in line with the questions, and they got pretty freaky, man. Like, seeing something like that was scary.
Right.
You know,
I think you.
not enough to make me run out. Definitely made me feel uncomfortable because, like I said, that's not something that you normally see. I know for a fact that's not what I got going on in my home. It's the people that say it's evil. They haven't seen evil.
Right, and that's something that people got to look forward to there when that investigation video drops, because there was some crazy activity going on in there, and I think like you said, even like a threat was levied on the Necrophonic app.
Oh, the threat was heavy enough for me to cut the session with Rob for sure.
So stay tuned for that video. That's a little.
Yeah, that's all in there. Rob's chopping that up.
I've told you this, like after you sent me the walkthrough video and I watched it, and I think at one point you were upstairs in a room and you were sitting in this chair and you were just like basically talking to Sally. And like that night I had a dream that you were sitting there in a wingback chair and that fucking whatever that thing is in your basement was standing behind you, just like menacing over you. And I feel like that was like the reason why like Sally didn't want to come out and play in that particular moment.
Sally's just a name that, you know, in commemorance of a little girl that died in there, in my opinion. That's not a girl. That's not a little kid. It's an angry old man or something that was possessive at one time, probably violent or abusive, you know, just a horrible fucking piece of shit person that probably passed. And just, you know, just it has that bitterness, go fuck yourself type attitude. That ain't evil, man. That's just a dickhead spirit, or however some of you guys want to chop that up, however you guys identify that. That's what it is.
Right. I think you know, now we're going to lead into the hiatus, like what you've been up to lately, and you know, what's going on with you outside of the channel.
What have I been doing outside the channel? Go to work. Keep myself busy.
Mm-hmm. I think you would have to, with that kind of activity going on, you'd have to find any kind of outlet just not to think about that 24/7.
Yeah, I can't. And doing this for a year now and trying to provide good content. It's fun, man. It's fun to do it, but just like anything that's fun like that, I mean, it definitely has its consequences. And I'm trying to cut it off at the pass, man. I keep myself busy. I focus on my family. I'm killing it at work. I'm really enjoying that. I go to the gym a lot and do a lot of training. And just feeling good about myself, man. And that's the key to life in general. And it helps out, you know, even with, you know, when you're dealing with ghosts and shit. I think that you come in with a positive attitude and you got, you know, your brain working better, you're sweating out the toxins, you're, you know, taking care of yourself, eating right. I think it's good to come to terms with that. It doesn't make so much stuff that hard to deal with.
What other things have you been up to during your hiatus? Have you been able to decompress, like mentally at all?
I don't know, man. Kinda keep myself busy. Like I said, it's an acquired thought, I would say. Like, it's something that I have to work on for sure. I mean, I can always give that motivational attitude, but no, I was a dumpster fire there for a couple of weeks, man. Snapping at Rob, snapping at you, snapping at people at work. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
I just to chill. It's the anxiety of it all, man, and being reminded of it every fucking day. That's when Rob was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to cut you off for a bit, doggy."
Yeah, and for anybody that doesn't know, like Rob is doing the Dino with the Devil lives on YouTube right now for the foreseeable future, and then yeah, eventually we'll go back to the old format. Good things to come.
You'll always have the content. Trust me. Like I said, it's going on that platform that it scares me. It may not scare some of you, but it scares the shit out of me. It reminds me. And then having to talk about it reminds me. You know, it's always good to get some of the shit off your shoulders and let those people out there that are praying for you and, you know, saying good things, like it's good to say thank you every once in a while. Because like I said, man, I do read the comments some of the times after they've been filtered, and I do appreciate it. And I owe it to you guys to, keep in touch and keep putting out aspects that you can to reach us at. Like I said, I really want to take this in the direction of, going out and finding my, what I'm looking for. And if I can't find it, then, I guess it is what it is at that point. You can't help something that you can't, define.
Mm-hmm. And that kind of leads into like the next point of the future of the channel and where you see this going, in the future.
I'm going to keep documenting it as long as I can. Hopefully I don't learn a hard lesson from it, but, outside of the emotional things of it, I would say, I've gotten used to it. And I don't know if it's here to stay. And, there's times I think that it does my bad bidding. I hate to sound like a crazy, but seriously, man, like it's there, and I think at the Sally house, that's how I'll define that place. It might have been there with me, man, because at a certain point, I didn't feel vulnerable at all in there. Like I felt comfortable. I went to sleep in that house, no problem. The moment I laid down, I was out like, fuck, if this is what you guys are scared of, homie, you have no idea. Not at all. And it'll all be shown in video. You can see the change of demeanor. Like there was something in there and it offended me, and I barked back at it. Like, I don't know, just a feeling that came across me, I would say.
And that's what's different about your investigation, because I don't think anybody has ever got a chance to check that basement out, because it's usually always locked.
Yeah, it opened right up, man.
Yeah, that's another point that would just unnerve me. A door that's normally locked and it just like creaks open. You're like, okay, I see where this is leading.
Yeah, and just to throw it out there, man, I went into that fucking house before I started recording. I really did. And, the basement door popped open right when I was standing in front of it. It smelled like ass down there. That was about it. Lots of banging. I'm thinking, all right, well, if it wants to play, let's get it on camera. And then, I went in there like investigative style, but I think you all know me well enough that, that's to try to explain to you guys and make it worth watching. I just think if I was going nuts and shit, like, half cocked going into a place where I'm expecting to see something evil because so many people have said that, and then I run into what I did, it's just like, oh fuck, man. Let's get the lights going off. Let's get some whispers, some bumps in the night. Ooh, that's what I felt like at the end, to be honest with you. Cool experience, but not what I was looking for.
And there's another future video coming up where you guys investigated a morgue and some crazy shit was going on. That's going to be a very interesting video for these people to see in the future.
It is. Yeah, that was an odd feeling, knowing that many people died in there unexpectedly, needless, when the power went out and flooded.
Was it the same feeling as like the Sally house and the morgue, or were they completely opposite?
Completely different, man. Like I said, I think hauntings and shit that people go through are all like a thumbprint. For people to say you can categorize them, and there's some that are the same, I'm gonna call bullshit on that, because the feeling that I had in that fucking morgue, completely different than what it was in the Sally house. Completely different. You felt sorrow, you felt regret, you felt, like when you go in there and a family member's dying and you just get that sadness over you. That's what it felt like in there. And I think any normal person would feel that, knowing what, goes on in a hospital. People die in there all the fucking time. It just so happened that a bad thing happened and some people died in a pretty horrific fucking way, running out of life support because the power went out. And, that's something that's holding you alive, and people in critical condition, and they need those machines to run, and they died. But think about how many people died in there before that. Think about how many bodies were chopped up. I mean, there's these little slides that were left in cabinets because they just unflooded that place. It was flooded with Katrina water for years, so probably toxic as fuck because it stripped that building. And there was these little slides that said autopsy on the fucking drawer, and you pull it out and there was all these glass slides that were in there that had human tissue in it. And there was thousands of them all over the fucking place, still in the drawer.
Oh wow, that would be definitely eerie seeing that.
That thin little piece of glass, and you put it under the or the microscope, and that's when they're looking at the autopsies, they're taking, tissue samples and all that. That's what it was, man. And there was thousands of them. So you know that thousands of people were dead in that building just by the number of those. And that's what confirmed that with me. But when you see me say in a video, I got to get my back against the wall, it's because I'm feeling something. And I've been able to identify that through, this entire experience. As long as I have my back towards the wall, I don't have to worry about something going behind me. Mm-hmm. And I felt that way at the hospital because I didn't know what was going to happen. And the way those motion detectors were going off, it came in one side and it would go out the other. And you have to walk right up on these motherfuckers to get that light going off. And then the ball went off. Like, I don't know. We'll chop up the video. I don't want to, ruin it for everybody, but it's just something you got to see. It was pretty cool.
Right. And that's coming out in the near future here. So it's something for all the fans to look forward to.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come. I'm going to keep doing as long as I can. Like I said, I just needed to get myself in a little nest, and I think that these podcasts have been helping me a lot because then I don't have to worry about answering questions to the video of me talking because I don't know what to do sometimes. Those comments come in sometimes so fucking fast and I can't read them all, and I have to stop it. And if I hit it too long, it says, do you want to block this? And it's like, fuck, man. Yeah, and just that. And, knowing on the other side or right below that conversation and me seeing myself on the camera is a fucking video of something that I don't want to see again.
Yeah, those comments are like a ticker tape at times, man. They just scroll by so quick, and before you know it, they're just there and gone.
They're there and gone, and people get upset because you're not answering their questions. There's all kinds of stuff that goes into that, man. It's cool, though. Mm-hmm. Some people just want to say hi and hear me say their name, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like
I read
shout out.
Comments to some people that have said some pretty crazy stuff in a good way, just in a way I've never thought about it before.
Yeah, the shout outs, people like to, get shout outs and things like that. But
I have some shout outs for YouTube, man. Durban Paranormal, that's my boy. King Frostmare, love that guy too, Dark Side Paranormal, I think.
Yeah, you got Chills on there, Slapped Ham. I mean, you've been featured on some pretty big compilation channels here recently.
Azrot Zinc. He's got 20 million followers back then when he posted my video, and kind of is the reason why I, got further in depth, because when you have a guy like that saying, great footage, but doesn't handle his channels or his social media well at all, that's what made me want to try to get a grip on it. Because, somebody like that says it, and he's in Mexico, man. I have a lot of people in Mexico that watch my stuff, and they're quiet. They're awesome people. They leave good comments. They don't talk any shit. It's awesome. It's crazy the difference from people around the world. It's been kind of cool, man. I've met a lot of Muslims, other Jewish people. Like, I've gotten good advice from around the world, man. TikTok's millions of views. This is a channel that's just getting almost to be a year old.
And I feel like it's just getting started, and like you alluded to, it's like night and day with the comments from like overseas versus like some people here in America. But yeah, we're open to critique and constructive criticism. It's just the negative, salacious stuff that gets like overwhelming, and that'll wear on anybody.
That's TikTok. My YouTube guys are guys and gals, and however you want to, identify, I guess. The YouTube people are way cooler, man. Right. It's good, good people. And there's a big difference between TikTok and fucking YouTube. Huge.
I'm willing to bet during your hiatus here, though, the activity hasn't subsided at all. It probably has been either constant or even slightly elevated.
I mean, it's consistent.
So I
Why
figured
I'm
it was going
a
to be
little break, but you know, my wife and stepson are leaving town for a week, going on vacation to clear their heads, and it's a busy time for me at work, man. So I can't get away, but I'll be here alone this weekend and week.
So what does that
And
mean for the channel? Obviously, we're alluding to something here. There's going to be some filming, obviously, some podcasts coming out, all kinds of
I'll
content.
I'll try.
Yeah, you know,
If I catch something cool, I'll let you guys know. But I have other videos that I'll be dropping throughout the year, on TikTok and YouTube. Uh, you just got to stay tuned. I mean,
yeah, the
I don't
best is yet to
lot
come.
the time. You gotta fucking wait for it to come out. If I can get consistency, but it's not something that I can predict. So understand that. I mean, that's why we do stuff like this, to keep you guys engaged for when that next video that I catch at home comes out. You get to see it, and you get to see it first. TikTok or YouTube, you'll get to see it. But it's not as often as you think to catch it, man. I mean, I go through some shit. Most of it's emotional and smells and loud bangs, like loud bangs. You just sit there and look like, fuck, man, just be quiet. Trying to watch 40-year-old virgin and fuck my fleshlight.
Yeah, I know Rob had said, because there was a big push to go down there with a flashlight, which we've got something else in mind we're going to try in regards to that. We're not going to disclose it yet because hopefully it's going to be a surprise when it happens, and it's going to put a lot of haters to shame if it happens the way we think it's going to happen. But yeah, even Rob had said JB doesn't own a flashlight maybe, so he'll go down there and try to put that oval slit on it or whatever. So
Oh man, when you stay home extended periods of time, you got to do something.
yeah, even Rob's calling you out, man. That
Ooh,
guy is.
I'm just.
And that guy is such a nice guy. To hear him say that was almost like, what? What did you just say? Because he's such a nice guy.
Yeah, Rob is he's a rare breed for sure. You don't meet people that nice in real life usually. We got lucky. We have a good team going on now, man. I'm liking where things go, and I feel bad about ditching the Dino with the Devil that night. It was just everything piled up on me, and I've been working through it. I've been working through my shit.
Yeah, we're gonna get to everybody that keeps sending them emails in. We'll get to you. Don't get discouraged. It's just a lot is going on, and we're trying to sort through everything.
That and balanced life, man. There's a lot going on in the real world too. Fuck.
Yeah, that's why they got to tune into Lap Dances and Lattes if they want our perspective on real world.
That's funny.
And we're going to be interviewing everyday people on that channel. I think we got a couple of good guests coming up, so they're going to have to stay tuned for those stories.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah,
I guess I'm gonna be manning the ship for a little while, and I'll always do reaction videos, because throughout time, while I'm getting my poop in a group, if I have footage, I'll send it to these guys, and they'll get it out. It's just, I don't ask me for a schedule, because whatever is in my house works on its own time, not mine. And like I said, you got outlets like this to hear the stories behind it, what happened, and
So where do you see the channel going, the future of it? Where would you like to be here in the next couple of years? Do you have any big plans, ideas?
Fuck, man. All right.
That's a broad question. I know.
I'm dead set on going to some fucked up places to try to identify something like I got going on, man. And there's some shit out there that people say that's gone. I got in touch with a realtor that's, got listings of places that they can't sell because somebody died in there as a murder suicide, or, all kinds of crazy shit with death in some of these homes. And I'm going to go into some of them and see how it is. And, I'm trying to get that feeling that I get at home, because then I can ask for the proper help. And that I don't want to live like this forever, man. And I'm not thinking that, finding that feeling and trying to get help out of it's going to be something that's immediately found. I mean, I got a lot more advice. I got a lot more, things to try than trying to run it on my own. And I appreciate the comments with the advice and shit like that. But until I'm convinced that I'm not the only one that's got something similar, it may not be the same thing. Like I said, I think they're all different, but I know what evil feels like, and I know what it feels like to be around a ghost. Big fucking deal. I could deal with a ghost all day. But when it's something solid and black and pacing back and forth in front of your fucking bathroom, when you show everyone there's nothing in there, there's got better shit to do with my time, man. Like, I'm not going to put a fucking camera up, take my goddamn hat off if I thought something was going to happen. You guys would have never seen me bald, like I said. So, you'll get some of that too. Like I said, it's a lot of those videos are for me. Like, did I catch it? Okay, come on. It's like, I want to try to chase it down. Like, all right, I'm going to get you. Like it says it's going to get me. And sometimes it works out differently and I don't catch anything on film, but it's what happens after that. It's like, oh, fuck, it got me. It's kind of like tag, cat and mouse. So yeah, I'll be dropping that out. I don't see it going away in the near future, but I like to do these podcasts. Rob gives me a list of some of your guys's, comments and questions, and we'll be moving forward that way for sure.
Right.
We'll just see how it goes, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have some of the fans on here to tell their stories and their experiences. So good things to come, especially with the channel. Like, you've got some locations picked out that are definitely like off the grid, not like a lot of these places that are just overblown with like gift shops and shit. So that's going to be exciting when we get to that phase of the channel.
Yeah, we got some pretty cool places that we're going to visit. That's not, like Tim said, it's not something that you see videos, 10,000 of them, like you go looking for something hard enough, you're going to find it, and I'm going to fucking find it, and I'll show you guys, and I'll get the help that I need, and hopefully bounce and just continue doing podcasts, because I love talking to you guys, like, for real. And I think as time goes on, the more and more of you will come on, and the cooler stories I'm going to get to, hear. And I invite all of you to come on and do the Dino with the Devil, or, just date if you want to do the Dark Side of Dino or Dino with the Devil. Email us at dinonugget741 at Gmail, and love to get you on and chat. It's the whole, like I said a million times, man, it's the whole point of all this. Is it's a big community that, people are afraid to talk about, kind of like politics now. Politics and religion usually are the things you don't talk about with other people. Same with ghosts and aliens. So
we're just trying to offer a diverse, way of getting a hold of us and reaching out. So yeah, definitely reach out to us. Good things are coming.
For sure. Rob's doing good at what he's doing, and me and Tim are on our own thing, recording podcasts for everybody. Just stay tuned. I'll definitely be coming back into the scene for our first of the year investigation. It's at a ranch in eastern Colorado. We'll put a video out explaining it, but gonna get after that. That's about as evil as you can get for the amount of people that died and suffered there. It's a trip.
Yeah, we're gonna tell you the backstory during that whole thing. It's gonna be intriguing for sure. So I encourage everybody to tune into that once that's completed and uploaded.
And like I said, with more experience, the content gets better, and not so Blair Witch style.
That definitely leads to the eeriness of the situation for sure. Just just the everyday thing. But yeah, good things are coming. We're not quite done with our conversation, so if anybody thinks we're done talking, that's not the case. But I heard you have some updates on some like church situations and stories that have been going on during your hiatus.
Good friend of mine. I don't know how comfortable he feels about saying his name, so I'm going to call him Jay. He goes to temple with me. He's, very active in the Jewish church, and he's known me for a real long time. And we were sitting down after Temple and we were just talking about life. And, I'll probably put a video out about it this weekend, but it's something that I would do as a kid with some of my other friends that I really didn't ever think about. And it may be a shot in the dark, but, when other people remember shit like that, I never really thought about it again. At the crossroads, that's what I'll call it. You'll see it in the video. I'm going to go there this weekend, I would say, and, do a little film there. I'll have that put out for you guys. It's just, I'll let the movie explain it, but it's something, leading up to some of the stupid shit that people do that they don't realize that might have long-term ramifications sometimes. So it's worth exploring and telling the story and getting oh man, the reaction that this is going to get's going to be off the hinge. I'm going to get a lot of shit talked to me about it as it is, but.
And this is something you did a lot as like a younger individual. You used to go there all the time and do like kind of weird stuff.
Well, yeah, it's like Bloody Mary type shit.
Oh, okay.
Who really thinks it's like?
Yeah, like Biggie Smalls, the South Park version of it. Things like that.
Man, I had family that lived out there for forever, and I was always out there. And you just get this local Bloody Mary or the Third Bridge, or turn your lights off and flash your brights 3 times and you'll see something like, it was like one of those things. But mine was a little different because, again, getting hammered when you were in school, hanging out with your buddies out in the middle of the country, doing pasture, parties out in the middle of nowhere. Cops never seen it. Have a big bonfire, like you're out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And this was kind of like a urban legend, I would say. But again, one of those things that you do in life that you don't think that'll come back and haunt you. And I'm not saying that it will, but. Definitely worth exploring that for sure.
Yeah, so it's like a local lore type of situation, or?
Yeah, man. It's okay. So it's the crossroads, right?
Yeah, just give an outline. Don't give up all your story, but just a little tidbit, to taste.
It was like an urban legend that if you went to the crossroads at a certain time of night, that you could meet the devil. And if you cut your hand open and bled on the crossroads, which is a 4-way street crossing in the middle of nowhere, it's like pointless. And, drip your blood on the ground, and then you can, trade it for whatever you want. And then you have to go down to the endless road. And then you have to walk as far as you can and then walk back. And, whatever you had wanted during that whole process is, what you got in return. I'll explain it in the video.
Definitely.
It's, and if that's the case, I don't know how many times I sold my soul to the devil.
Yeah, you
are
are going to disclose what you're thinking of,
like,
right?
Let's go down and see if we can get the devil to buy our souls. Yeah. It wasn't like we were Satanists or something. It wasn't even that at all. We were jocks. Jocks that drank 40s of Colt 45 with lime salt. Like, we weren't those kids that painted our fingernails and wore, nets on our arms.
People are going to ask, you're going to disclose what you were thinking about, right? What you were essentially trading for?
I always wanted to play pro ball or,
Okay, yeah.
Be, in the limelight. Like, when you're a kid, man, you're good at fucking football and you just want to keep going because that's your life. And you do it at that point. It was like, I'd do anything to be into that feeling, what it feels like to be able to do that. I'd sell it for that. There was one time it was like I wanted a Corvette. And that never came true. It was a fucking, urban legend, man. Like, you go to the crossroads, you sell yourself to the devil, and you walk down the endless road, man. It's a trip.
And you'll go into more depth when you film that video, I'm sure, talking about, you know, everything that was associated with what you were thinking, essentially what you were trading for, all that good stuff they have to look forward to for sure.
Yeah, it's just like I said, when you go through something like this, you have to put it all together. And until Jay pointed that out, it's like, you crazy motherfuckers would go out there all the time. Do you think it might be something with that? Who knows, man? Going through this is like going down a bad memory trip. You know, it makes me feel stupid. Some of the stupid shit that I did growing up, like, fuck, I should be dead.
That's just weird how that came up like out of the blue, though. Just like, you know, you remember back when kind of thing. That's kind of eerie.
Oh yeah, for sure. But we were talking about it, man, and he used to hate us for that because, like I said, man, he's an Hasidic Jew. He has his, you know, he's definitely deep in the Jewish, you know, community. They live in their own community.
And what does he think about your situation? Does he have like a, you know, personal view of what he thinks is really going on with your situation?
Honestly, like he said, we all think it's karma, man. It's got to be. You do dumb shit in your life and it comes back. And maybe I did something unintentionally or something that I didn't know about. Like, there's so many things I can think of, but I can definitely tell you it all happened about 9 years ago, right at the same time that I started noticing it. Like, it was a horrible time in my life, man. I went over that in other videos, you know. If you guys want to hear that story, go ahead for it. But that's what I'm looking for, man. And maybe somebody can bring light to it, but if you don't know what to tell them and you have nothing to compare it to, and how are you going to get the right help? Because you have no idea what you're doing with yourself. Excuse me, this weed's good.
Yeah, and then when you're younger, you tend to just be like, you know, not even phased by certain things, and you're just willing to participate because let's be honest, like everybody has went through their teen years, and it's basically a period where you're searching for your identity. So I mean, you're willing to do crazy things.
I'm telling you for 100% fact, I never experienced shit like this till about 9 years ago now. Because I was a pussy. Still am. 6'2", 230-pound, giant vagina. Like, I get scared easy with shit like that. Like, I don't, you know, I don't want to fuck with it. I'm a big guy and I will get away. Like, good luck stopping me when I'm, you know, shit myself.
And I know you've said like you're trying to like limit the people that come into your house because that thing has been so destructive on different levels and to different people. Has your friend Jay ever said, you know, what if I drop by, or you've been like totally against that?
Ain't never gonna fucking do that, man. Most people that know what's going on don't want to come over. They're like, fuck that. I know you, and you can barely dial a phone. I mean, I know just enough at work to work my computer to do my job. Just enough. And all I do is enter names and phone numbers and credit cards and sell people shit. That's what I do.
Right. And even he's like, nah, no thanks, man.
And I think that's what I like about my videos, man. When you set the camera up, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be bullshit. I'm telling you, unless it's a real active place, for it to show itself, man, it's got to be more intense than a ghost that you see at like the Sally House. It's, you know, every once in a while to feed off the energy and people doing seances and shit like that. Like, I heard that's crazy, and I don't want any fucking part of that. I'm never going to participate in something crazy like that. Like, you're just asking for it at that point. But what I learned is that, you know, it takes a lot of energy for them to turn on a fucking light. You know, a little ball that you move and it lights up. So for it to manifest into something physical that you can clearly see with a camera and other people, like multiple people have seen it, you know, that's a whole nother beast. Because unless it's feeding off me, which it would drain me, man. And I think some of the days it might be, but it's a lot different. The whole feeling in the air, all of your senses are on heightened alert. Like, your hairs are standing up. Like, it's an overwhelming feeling knowing that when you've been dealing with it and you've seen it and you've interacted in a sense with it, like, It's almost like a kid that's waiting for his abusive dad to come home and fuck him up. You know, you're just constantly like, fuck, why is this happening to me? Like, brings you to tears, man.
And we know that thing has had an effect on like batteries and electronics and like things of that nature. Like it drains them and kills them instantly. And the
I had to
level
keep.
of energy that thing must be emitting, because like it went ape shit in the basement experiment. Like it was smashing your glass fixtures downstairs.
Yeah, that's not something that's normal. That's not like the Sally house. You move some fucking lights. Yeah, you make some bumps upstairs when you're downstairs. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. It's completely different, man. Like, and I know that there's different categories like poltergeist, demonic entities, you know, residual hauntings, blah, 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 blah. They're all fucking different. And it just matters of how strong it is. And I'm convinced that your average, just pissed off person that has unfinished business, as some people, you know, would categorize it, is completely different from something that's, you know, hissing and fucking throwing shit, and cussing and speaking in a different language. And the thing that tripped me out, man, is after I was told that it said my real name, it didn't go to JB, you know, and it was like, fuck, now I have to post this and people are going to know about that and see my bald head. Like, fuck me, bro.
Right. And I mean, that's the video that Devin participated in. It clearly did not like the fact that he was down there doing it, because it went crazy. And that's the video that we kind of referenced that kind of, you know, left a lasting impression on Devin, because he's kind of been, you know, changed ever since that one.
Yeah, it sucks, man. I don't know. Said some people don't know what they're asking for, man. And I've just learned that I'll take the blunt of it for the family. I have no problem with that. Kids aren't afraid of it because it's never really fucked with them like it does me. It's completely different. But it doesn't stop when I'm gone. It's not like that, man. It's everyone experiences their own little version of it one way or another. You know, and I'm the only one that's fucking trying to break down walls to get the fuck out of there.
Right. It definitely liked talking to him for some reason, because I think you alluded to the fact that it never really communicated with anybody to that level in the past.
It didn't do anything when Rob was down there like that. Not even close. Not
Yeah.
even close.
Yeah, I know Rob was down there for a long time, and he even left for a little bit and left the camera going. I didn't really see much happen. I watched that whole like 3 hour video, and I didn't really see a whole lot. I don't know if it had something to do with like night and day. I'm sure you could probably answer that. You've probably had just as many experiences in the day as night, probably.
I'm never here during the day, so you know, during the weekends, Sunday, I don't even get off the couch other than to grab a snack or to piss or shit. That's my day that I just chill. And during the daytime, yeah, it's no different. I'll get the loud bangs, the knocking, the door jiggling this time. That was a trip. That I have a video of that. Like the doorknob's just shaking. And then the basement door opens up. It's like, well, now it knows how to turn the knob. Like I've tried to wedge that door shut, man. Like I've gotten on the top of it, put all of my weight down, and like lifted my feet to bend down that, you know, what's it called, hinge a little, so it doesn't shut evenly. And you have to like lift it up and push it in, and that fucking thing still opens like butter when it wants to open it, man. It's stupid. How does it do that?
Yeah, it's
How does
crazy.
it do that?
It's crazy what that thing is capable of, and I think we've not even really scratched the surface of like what that thing could actually do if it really was motivated to do something.
I'd rather find out if it's something that's similar out there, like for real, like that demon house. I would love to got into that motherfucker for sure. Then that guy Zach, I think it's Ghost Hunters.
Yeah,
Tore it down.
Zach Baggins had that thing tore down. I'm willing to bet that the lot is still active though, because you just don't close a portal by tearing a house down.
Mine's not a portal, and for people who say that it is, fuck you. It's singular, and I know that you guys think that it's a multiple. It's not. It's the same thing coming at me different ways. It's like it knows how I'm feeling and it's going to scare me at that time. It's the same thing. It's the same feeling. And unless people are telling me that there's demonic children and demonic women running around, I'm telling you, it's the same feeling each time. Whether it's humming, hissing, speaking different language, calling me by name, it's all the same thing.
There's been a recent theory that's come out about like a possible connection to a bloodline. Do you have any thoughts on like that theory?
Nah, man, my family's normal.
Yeah.
Church family people, I mean, they believe in what they believe in for sure. It's not something that's normal, and you don't discredit people. You give them the benefit of the doubt, and I think that that's just basic principle of anybody that is, involved in living their life with faith. It's never talked about, really. It's something that's always been with me, like I've alluded to in other videos, but it just didn't make itself abundantly clear until, I was done with dealing with my divorce and, going through that part of my life and legal troubles and all that kind of stuff. It sucked. But when it was all better and, you get your feet back up underneath you and start running again, everything was better except that.
I think there's definitely a possibility of like referred to that part of your life as being very negative and adverse. I think like events like that can definitely speed up paranormal activity if it's, attached to you.
I don't know. It's like it took its time, gradually making its presence known more and more and more. It took its time for sure. It's taken 9 years to get to the point we're at right now.
It'll be interesting to see like, because you got the static cam in the works to, be mounted down there, and that'll be through a paywall that people can sign up for and take part in. It'll be interesting to see what that captures going forward.
And to be honest, man, I almost want to make it like have a waiver. Like I'm not responsible if something goes on in your crib, because everyone that's been around this with me and talked has said that weird shit has happened at their house. And I don't fucking know, whatever. But if you're sitting there staring at it for hours trying to catch something, and like I said, man, you go looking for it hard enough, you're going to find it. And if it affects you in a negative way, then that's your fucking problem. I don't want any part of that.
Yeah, I think people definitely need to be
People
aware.
Oh man, yeah, he's trying to play it up. But like for real, I don't want to be sued or somebody like killing themselves and cutting their face off or something fucking crazy like people just do, to get that attention. Like I was watching Dino Nuggets video in his basement and I killed my family. Like just seeing some of these videos of what people do, it scares the shit out of me. I'm more afraid of the living than I am what's going on in my home, man.
Yeah, I think definitely people need to be aware that, that's nothing to really play with, whatever's down in that basement. And it could have adverse effects on you. You just never know. And I don't suggest you take it lightly if that's something that you're interested in. You're welcome to sign up for it, but just be aware. It very well may affect you.
You can do it however you want to do it. Like I said, it's all about how you go into it. But just know. That's all I got to say.
And there's people that can attest to that. I guarantee if, we were to ask Devin or ask JC what their opinion is on it, they've both experienced it and come out a little different on the other side.
Everyone has. It'll change you, man. It'll open up your eyes to other things. You'll be more objective to things for sure. And you'll always be looking over your shoulder. And that's the shitty part of it. It's the anxiety of it. Like, fuck, man.
And I think we've conveyed this in other podcasts and even in the video that you have exhausted avenues into, like the Catholic Church and exorcisms and things like that, because everybody keeps mentioning that. And it's like JB has definitely looked into these avenues and they've all led to a dead end, essentially.
First of all, to get a Catholic anybody to do an exorcism, there's like one person in the country who's genuinely certified from the Vatican to come out and do it. I ain't trying to fuck with one of these other religions that just come out and they're like, oh yeah, they're insane. And to think that, that would help is just crazy. If I was going to do anybody to do it, it would either be Jewish, and Jewish and Catholics, the amount of proof that you have to prove to them is insane. And they're not here to bless your house. They're here to fucking bless you. And that's the scariest part. It's a gradual process. I just, like I've been told that I'm strong-minded, and it just takes longer. But again, these are people that won't do it on camera. They're not going to talk to you in front of a camera. They don't want to be made a martyr. They don't want to be made any type of anything, like, oh fuck, look at this guy. They don't want nothing to do with the camera. And the stuff that they say, and they outline the signs and doing that, or some of these dudes, like I've said, man, they just straight up won't even come in the house. They just want me to get a spiritual healing and tell me that I need Jesus in my life and I need to do this, that, and the other. They won't even come in, man. I've said that.
Yeah, and you've even touched on this in other videos and podcasts, that even when you were down in New Orleans, there was somebody that was probably deeply entrenched in the voodoo faith, and they didn't want nothing to do with you.
Nope. And Rob went in there. They didn't even know we were together and told him to leave. It's like, whoa. That was a trip.
And that should give people a level of like how intense this thing is, that it's able to, essentially mark people, and you can either sense it or feel it in some way or another.
I guess just depends on what you believe in. There's so many different ways to look at this that I found that would blow your mind.
You all right there, man?
Because throughout everyone that you talk to, man, all walks of life, everyone has a different view on it. So which one do you look at? That's the real question. Which side of the fence do you fall on, and with who? Voodoo's been around a long time. And so is Catholics and Christians and Jews for sure, and Muslims definitely. Like, it is.
And
Yeah,
there's definitely
it's hard to find. Like jinns, I think it might. I would hope that it's a jinn. Like, I'm hoping it's not a Dybbuk, because that would be fucking horrible. And Dybbuk's you can't trap into a box. You can definitely put cursed items into a box and curse them with the Kabbalah on them, if that's possible. But a Dybbuk, its definition means to attach, to stick. So if this is a Dybbuk, and this is through my faith, I'm fucked. I'm not going to get rid of it, and it's something that's a process to even just kind of control it. And it never ends well. Like, name a fucking exorcism movie where you've seen that, the person really lived, other than the exorcist, and she wakes up not spinning her head and puking green everywhere.
Yeah, every Hollywood video is definitely sensationalized, but it's not even all that happy in the end in the cinema eyes.
Think about Emily Rose. It's a true story. Do you think for one fucking second that I want to go through that?
Absolutely not.
Hell, if this thing tries to possess me, I'm ready. Like, I'm going to do my damnedest to make it hell for it. But again, I've had 9 years to do this, and I'm just as afraid today than it was when the first time I seen it years ago. The door opening up, man, it was like an excited panic excitement, and now it's just like, fuck me, man.
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point here. Like, I'm sure people have asked this in the past. It's like they always talk about, well, my situation's nowhere near as intense as JB's is, but what kind of advice could you give people listening out there or watching out there on how you cope and you basically get through the day-to-day dealing with something like this?
Keep yourself busy. Talk to somebody, for real. somebody won't judge you or look at you like you're crazy. I use counselors and psychiatrists. And that's what I do. That's me. Just, and don't ever compare your situation to anybody's, because what I find scary and what you find scary when you go through it is completely different, man. I'd probably shit my pants in your house and let you fucking deal with this. Like, it's you don't know how you're going to react till you're there, and the best thing you do is try to talk about it or figure it out. And you can't watch videos, and because it's nothing like the movies, man. Because now you're in real life and you're trying to talk to people about shit like this, and they're like, oh man, this fucking dude. No, just find somebody who's like-minded and chat it up. Just let it out. That's the biggest thing that's helped me, for real. Listening to Dino with the Devil and talking to those people, man, I felt a lot better after that. Like, fuck, you're out of your mind. You've been doing this since you were a kid. Fuck that.
Yeah, and it's definitely interesting to see the community you've built and being able to talk about your people's experiences, and hopefully shedding light on them, or giving them an outlet to unload some of their burden. I think has been a benefit.
I hope, that's the hope anyway. And then the continued support and the Discord and all the stuff that they got going on over there. I think it's a good group of people, I'm assuming. Like, I do see the regular comments, and I applaud them for sure. My hat's off to you. And that's very rare for me to take my hat off, like I said. But yeah, you got to talk about it. And there's nobody on this channel as of this that'll bash you for it. I mean, if you come at us crazy, I'm going to call you out for it. Like, that's insane. Why would that even happen? But yeah, some people they go through some shit, and you can tell by the way they talk about it. Like, fuck, unless they're really good liars.
Is there anything else you wanted to convey before we wrap up this session?
Nah. No. Just wait for the new stuff coming out, and just thought I would do a reaction video to some of this stuff, in a way that I can get it done. I will be back. Like I said, I'll probably be back when we go on an investigation at this ranch out in Colorado. And everybody, I'm okay. Like I said, I just got to get my poop in a group, and that's about that. I burnt out a little bit, and I got to relight the fuse. So much love to everybody.
And JB will be coming back and taking over everything that he was involved in before. I got another little spicy tidbit for you. I don't think I've even told you this, but I was at my job the other night fucking around with the Necrophonic app for a little bit, late at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I had asked a question and used a name we've discussed that won't ever get disclosed, because there's no benefit to disclosing the name that we've talked about in the past. And I shit you not, after I spoke that name, I got a response, and it said one word. And I don't know if you want to hear this, so you can tell me. It said, after I said that name and asked the question, it said one word. It said Legion. And that fucking freaked me out. I turned the app off. I had fucking cold chills. I was sweating, and I had it was fucking crazy, man. I was like, no, I'm done playing with this shit. So, it goes back to what you were talking about. Opening doors can sometimes have consequences.
And you just never know when you're going to open one. It's careful. Live a careful life. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that it's just a story. There's no facts behind that. But, I don't think that's what we're dealing with here. But it's definitely eerie to ask a question like that and get a one-word response like that. It was definitely eerie and not welcome for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oof.
But with that being said, we'll wrap up this session, the pilot episode of the rebrand here, the Dark Side of Dino. You get to hear it here from the man himself.
Much love, everyone. Tim, thank you. Guys, we'll be doing this, like I said, every time I put something up, you'll be able to get a reaction. Rob and Tim will give me some questions. We'll evolve with this too. So just coming out to say hi and let you all know I'm doing all right. And I appreciate everybody for Singing again, much love.
Couldn't be said any better. With that, I'm going to play out our outro, and you guys have a good night, and stay tuned for the next episode.
Peace, mate.
My lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane. Making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains. I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things. Gonna make a fucking name. I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame. No, I'm not that vain. I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent, and it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots, if I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. Bad energy is like a poison, needs some antiseptic.